If you're at all interested in bikes, you've probably heard that the bike industry is currently experiencing a pretty major slump in sales. I recently went through and visited many of the local bike shops within 20 minutes of my home, and I'm honestly not surprised why. If you walk into the majority of bike shops or view most bike brand websites, you'll experience this intense, inflated confidence vibe, and it's killing the growth of everyday cycling here in the US. If you're new here, I'm Arleigh, aka Bike Shop Girl, and I've been working in and around the bike industry for over 20 years. I've been a master bike mechanic, managed multiple large brand stores, owned my own niche cargo bike shop, worked for bike brands, and now I'm making videos for the internet with the goal of being inclusive, welcoming, and a voice to get more people on bikes. In this video, I want to outline the 3 major flaws I've experienced in local bike shops and the brands that they carry over the last 20 plus years, and why I'm not surprised the local bike shop is sadly slowly dying. So the first one is the lack of training, humility, and customer service from the bike brands down to the shops. From a brand side, I hear too often how difficult it is to work with so many major brands. From their sales reps being difficult or missing important product information, to warranty and replacement parts taking months or longer to arrive. Or the actual brand marketing team not replying to messages and comments on their social media. At some point, you ask yourself, how does this person still have a job? And then you remember it's the bike industry. I mentioned I've visited a lot of bike shops recently, and I've probably visited over 1,000 bike shops in my time within the industry. Recently, I've experienced the majority of staff greeted me like they were doing me a favor, like I'm interrupting whatever they're doing. Or they simply had no idea about the product I was asking about that was on their floor, even though they believed they did. Full confidence, they believed exactly what they were telling me, even though it was completely wrong. You could tell they hadn't received any sales or customer service training and were tasked with knowing an immense catalog of product on their floor. But they were also not empowered to say, I don't know, let me get someone that can help. Bike shops, to stay relevant in the time of a quick buy on Amazon, need to take sales, customer service, product training seriously. Or there's really no reason to go to them, and I can have it for cheaper and quicker if I buy it online. And if you're going to be a generalist bike shop, you know the shops that carry every category possible? Divide those categories up to have specialists on every shift instead of trying to get every kid on your sales floor to know a crazy amount of product info. The second thing that drives me crazy is that bike shops rely on the brand names to drive sales. So they're relying on whatever brand they carry to send them customers through the dealer locator. And it's not completely their fault, but they are missing the basics of being a local business. There are so many bike shops stuck in the daily grind of managing the bike shop, making sure the bikes are on order, parts are ordered, bikes are being fixed, the customer in front of them is being helped, that they aren't actually creating interest in themselves to drive more traffic or to keep their current customers riding more and spreading the good word to their friends. They're simply relying on the dealer locator to send them traffic because they have great brands in their store. So as an example, a local bike shop has 2 cargo bikes on their floor. They aren't selling, and they seem genuinely confused on why they weren't selling. Looking through their marketing, they haven't done anything to help folks know that they have these bikes on their floor, why people would want these bikes, or better yet, they've done absolutely zero to build the community around these bikes in the first place. They simply expect the the bikes to sell because they're on their floor. That simply doesn't work these days. If I'm interested in something, I can get it delivered to my house for much cheaper than buying from a local bike shop. So show me that you are the leader, that you are the expert, and you're the one that I'm going to want to work with instead of just buying now on some website. So let's take this a step further. When I visited this bike shop, no one really knew about those cargo bikes. They haven't used them. They couldn't speak to the accessories that worked, and they've actually never even tried living that life or trying out that category. They simply stocked it because their brand sales rep told them they had to. And it was probably $4,000 to $5,000 of product sitting on their floor that they could have spent on something else that they believed in. If you aren't going to become experts about a category, whatever that might be, cargo bikes, mountain bikes, gravel bikes, don't sell it. Keep the money for products you know and believe in, because that's the reason people want to buy local. And my last thing that's driving me a little bit crazy right now is that bike brands are jumping on category trends and not actually growing the market. I was so excited about certain large brands getting into the family bike and cargo bike market a couple of years ago. But other than a huge marketing blitz for launch, they have done very little to actually grow their stores' markets. Now, I'm not sure how to tackle this personally, as I would love to put on family biking events in all the major cities around North America. I'm not sure how I can pull this off yet as a mom of 3, but it feels like we need more activation and brands to invest in the categories they're trying to grow. Just like we see in other niches of the bike industry. There's events, there's local tribes, and there's a community to show folks that they want to be part of it. So I say all these things, but at the end of the day, we need local bike shops and their brands to invest in building a healthy community of local cycling. Whether that's family biking, mountain biking, commuting, or whatever, you can't have a local bike culture without a great local bike shop. And you also can't have a good local bike shop without a community to support it. So I don't have all the answers. I can just tell you the things that I've experienced. But if you've made it this far, do me a favor and leave a comment for the YouTube gods. What are some ideas you have to grow local bike shops and family biking where you are? I do plan on starting to interview folks again, having a somewhat podcast interview series to hear what's working across North America, from the local bike shops taking the reins and building their local community to local groups and bike buses and events, and how they got started down to the tactical of how they did insurance and street closures and things like that. All with the hopes that there are folks watching that are going to champion where you are. Right? As always, thank you so much for watching. Until next time, stay well, stay good, and remember to get on your bike and leave the car at home when you can.